3, 2, 1, go.
That was a different 3, 2, 1, sorry.
Oh, yes. Hey, guys. We're back.
Hello, after a weekend of... Well, I was doing editing, but how was your weekend, Stuart?
Good. Not much happened.
Which is that a blessing or a curse at this point? Because we don't have to do stuff. We want to rest after the week, but also we're all not able to go out, therefore not doing anything. It's kind of like every day anyway.
Yeah, it was just kind of a blah weekend.
Oh.
Except for, well, it was our anniversary, which was nice. We just sat around.
Wow,
and watched
start
TV
from blah to, oh, is that our anniversary? But it was blah. Oh.
Well, we didn't do anything. We usually go out and do something, but...
Oh, is that the time you go out to the steak restaurant that we've been to? And you're like... Wasn't that last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but, yeah. So we just watched some TV and ordered some food in.
Yeah, I was about to say, couldn't you get that a takeaway?
Yeah. Oh, and we watched The Princess Bride, too, that day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put together all the episodes you guys are enjoying. Please do tune in for all of our sub-content. We had a lot of fun filming these on Friday, and you can check out what we've currently released, which is the other Federation ships tease, which is from the intro sequence anyway. The Argo is back. That was fun. Lots of people have been saying they didn't know the differences, so Argo is back. Mm-hmm. And today's one is the 2380 Admiral's uniform. I was having a debate with people, or someone in the chat, in the comments, about saying, well, it's probably an artistic choice. They use one of the Admiral pips, and I said, well, the show is very good at attention to detail, so I doubt it was an artistic choice. And they were like, well, yeah, but Janeway had one pip. I'm like, no, Janeway had two, because I went and looked at the screen cap, and they were just like, well, so maybe they invented a new rank system. I mean, often we introduce things that existed but never did exist. So would you be against having lieutenant admiral rank in a sense, only having half? It's always been there. We just have never seen it. I wouldn't be against that.
Nah, that would be fine, I guess.
So it seems like they would pay attention and put two things. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Mm-hmm. That was today's discussion. But what's today's discussion? There's live. Attention.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about our favorite Trek references in the first episode. There's some really cool stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And not just name drops, not just audio stuff, but like little things. Mm-hmm. Especially for a box full of goodies. And yeah, lots of good stuff. So if you guys know of anything you want us to talk about, by all means, let us know. There was one that I completely missed, which we might as well mention first. It was Dayton Ward that actually I saw it on Twitter. He pointed out that Nomad was in the closet, leaning up against the one wall. So that was pretty cool. Never noticed that.
Do you have a picture of that, of course? I mean, to be fair, it is at the edge of the frame in a dark thing.
Yes.
I mean, that's classed as an Easter egg. That's the batleth isn't an Easter egg, but something at the edge of the screen, barely visible, is an Easter egg. And that's A-okay. But Stuart, I will start sharing, and you can keep chatting.
Yes. I'll start by reading the super chats. We got both of them from Ozzy, so thank you very much, Ozzy. So he puts in $10 and says, all hail the superior commander and super captain Foley. Today's episode is brought to you by the Borg and Romulan fertilizers, skeleton hands. Thank you, Ozzy. And again, what's in $5? Happy anniversary to the Admiral and Captain Foley, skeleton hands. So, thank you very much. Much appreciated, guys. So if you want to super chat any references or things you want to talk about or want us to talk about that you might have noticed that we might not have noticed or we don't mention, by all means send a super chat. It helps with the channel. And don't forget to join the channel at the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral for some cool emojis and stuff for the live chats. Also Patreon/Trekyards and other ways to help us out by the Teespring store and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in each description of every video, so hopefully you guys will check that stuff out. And Ozzy says he's doing awesome, which is good. Let's see. Nomad is in the closet, so we have at least one gay character. Yeah, when I said that, I realized what I was saying, but yeah. Poor Nomad. Where Nomad had gone before. Guys, think of anything, I'm not sure we're going to hit on everything necessarily that we noticed, because we might miss one or two things. So if you do think of anything, let us know, and we will chat about it. Obviously, like one of the first best things that we noticed is in the intro, of course, which is the Borg versus the Romulans, which is cool. We never really actually seen that. We got 11 Romulan ships, 6 Borg cubes, and it is pretty cool. They're not 25% different. They're just exactly how they should look, which is one of the things that we really, really loved about it. So we're going to have videos about some of this stuff as well during the week, little short videos that you guys can enjoy. So be sure to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell notification to all, and also like the video. Give us a thumbs up. 85 of you here. We can definitely get the likes up. Let's get to 50 right away. That'd be awesome. And yeah. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $2. The Daredex Warbirds and Borg cubes are on point. Epic. Yeah. Ooh, Justin Hampton just joined the channel at the rank of captain.
Ooh.
Welcome, Justin. Good to see you.
Once again, beating my rank. It's that easy, guys, and we do appreciate we rely on those as well. So join the channel if you can, as I'm sure Stuart pimped that-ness.
Mm-hmm.
But so Stuart, now obviously we've had more time for the episode to sink in. How are you feeling about it now? I'm interested.
Still good. Like I said, I saw it about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, how's it do on repeat viewings then?
Very good, very good. It actually gets a lot better to follow. The quick paced dialogue is a lot better. After the first time you see it, you pick up more things. So it's good to rewatch these. And yeah, I'm gonna I haven't watched it since I found out that Nomad was there, but I want to check that out when I'm watching it to see if I can catch it. I'm sure there's going to be at least one little hidden Easter egg like that in every episode. That'd be kind of cool. But there's some obvious call outs and stuff as well that we want to talk about. So
I mean, this is the sort of thing. Now they've set their attention to detail, as in how much detail there is in a rendering, in a drawing. They're not that hard to do, so they can throw in even one animator randomly off the back of I feel like it can now throw stuff in. It's a lot easier than it could be. And you don't have to make photoreal, 3D prints that take months, etc., etc. So it's a very exciting show for that sort of fun stuff, and not confusing like a Gorn statue in Lorca's room. You're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Which, while cool, makes not that much sense.
No, it would work perfectly in this show though.
It'd be still graphic though.
Yeah.
Still a bit harsh.
Prime1351 puts in $5. Having rewatched it several times, there appears to be something resembling a Luna class in the next time on. Sorry if it's already been discussed. We haven't talked about this season on yet, but that's going to be one of our lives, I believe on Wednesday. We're going to discuss that and point out some stuff in that as well. But yeah, I don't know if I noticed that ship necessarily. But...
No, I don't. Luna-esque, but I very much doubt that. That would have been news. Believe me, that would have been all over. Luna class now canon. Believe me. And this is Jericho says Destiny is not canon in the new CBS continuity. Sadly, it was never canon anyway. It was a book. It was licensed. It was not canon. It was just this is what the writers said could be after, but please ignore as soon as they decide to go forward. It's just like Destiny doesn't link at all with Star Trek Online, but they're both licensed. They can't both be canon, and neither are, etc., etc.
Yeah.
That's just the classic thing. That's the classic.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, and Arcadian says, are the ships done by 3D modelling?
Yes.
Yes, although since it's all a computer, everything's 3D modelled, in a sense.
Yeah, Matt Boardman was here during my first live reaction. He said, yeah, they're likely CGI rendered and then with a toon shader.
Well, yeah, you can texture things to be certain way. It's better for parallax and detail, and then you do character animation software, but it's very likely they've built these sets in some sort of 3D. I know I watched behind the scenes of how I made Archer, and season 1 they built all the sets in 3D, and then did the back plates because that means they could be custom, and then did all the on top photoshopping to kind of make them less real and more stylized. So it allowed them to create complete creativity, which is quite hard work, but you get a great result. So, so a big win there. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the process. For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Jeff Jacobs puts in 260, 50 and under 10 minutes. You guys do know what I like. Well, let's just keep impressing Jeff, guys. Hit that like button. We have 122 of you here right now. So, like I said, if you guys think of anything you'd like us to discuss, please send a super chat or call it out, and we will talk about it.
But by favorite Trek references, we don't just mean an Easter egg. I mean, we've got. I think it's fair to say, Stuart, we've got used to the idea that modern Trek does not reflect the past. We're very lucky if we get. We were praising when the Andorians were about 80% Andorian-y. And that was like, oh my god, they've cared. So this show is a different level where now, unfortunately, we're used to that lack of attention to detail for real Trek, original Trek. So stuff that you would have been, obviously 20 years ago is now we're going to give them credit. But, give them credit when they're doing the right thing. And so there's a few things on this, I've taken screen caps of the episode. And obviously some of them are, well, obviously, but at this level of Trek, well, obviously is not a guarantee, and they could still be considered references. So for less, and some you might not even think of.
Well, one of the best things for me was seeing the holodeck looking exactly like the holodeck should. Even as you pointed out, the arch is exactly the same. Like there's such attention to detail and care for the subject matter. It's not changed, it's not altered, and it could be because this is a ship that's probably undergone some modifications. It's post Nemesis, but it's still an older ship, so it could have some upgrades, which we've kind of discussed a little bit with the nacelles. They could be upgraded or something. But
the ship is not necessarily a walking contradiction, but the uniforms are clearly post TNG, but different to Nemesis, which would imply older, but also newer, because then Picard changes back to primary colors, as in first version Picard. But this holodeck is literally TNG. Even down to the red, blue, and also got on screen red, blue, and green blinky there. So the holodeck tech is older now. We know Voyager got better holodeck tech, which is still the end of TNG, and whereas he had different tech again, at least somewhat different tech, like their arch is different. So this is a statement of, well, this is not past Mark, version 1.6.
Yeah.
Cool. And this is the sort of thing that I would have expected them to be different. Maybe the boxes were smaller, or they're a different colour. I mean, I guess they're yellow, not orange, because holodeck should be a yellowy orange. This is a yellow, but that's, such a minor thing.
Yeah.
And the arch would be different. There's no reason, or the door shape. So I'm kind of amazed that it's the same, but it feels like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's saying that the tech's old, which is good. Add some more grounding to the world. To have everything be shiny new doesn't necessarily, add something, does it?
Yeah. Aussie Maderas, $5.
There you
go. How about the new crew woman that was a Klingon woman that was in the Starfleet ensign uniform? Is that Tom Paris's daughter coming aboard Skeleton Hands? I don't think it's that late.
Yeah, Morale is not that old yet.
No.
Voyager only got back 4 years ago and should have been 4, so no.
Yeah. That's funny because we just watched Future Imperfect that had a female Klingon on board as well, so nice little tie in there.
I mean, it makes sense at this point. Why not? I mean, at what point did we hear, again, Worf is the only Klingon in Starfleet? Did we hear that past TNG, past early TNG? I don't remember that.
I don't think so, no.
So there's no reason to assume he would be, and given... Okay, after Worf's discommendation, once he got his pride back, I'm sure some Klingons were like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not? Yeah.
Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $2. Loved the callback to Voyager's credits. I don't know if I caught that necessarily.
Do you mean titles? The credits are at the end. Justin, explain what you mean. Or do you mean just like in the title sequence, the ice astral
No, it's Fleet
shield?
Paw. Fleet Paw, not Justin.
Sorry.
So clarify, Fleet Paw. Justin, though, $2. I'm pretty sure Troy piloted ship in the credits. Training.
Yeah.
That's awful.
And this is Jericho says, well, Torres was in the Starfleet. Well, she's half Klingon, half human, which means they might not count her. And she was pretty young by the time we saw her in Voyager, and that was already 7 years after Worf, so it's unlikely... Like, Worf was already in Starfleet, and then she
Yeah.
was in it for a year or two and then left. So, at the point...
And to be fair, the Klingon that we see does look kind of half Klingon, not a full Klingon.
Yep.
So, I mean, with the Federation and the Klingons being at peace for so long, it makes sense that there'd be some, mixed ones there that might join Starfleet because their parents are Starfleet or whatever.
It's like saying with is it Valeris who's half Romulan?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, would you call her the first Romulan in Starfleet? It's like,
I guess you could.
I mean, but it doesn't feel quite right, does it? It's like...
Yeah. It's like we have Drumhead coming up soon. In Drumhead, there's a half... Well, he said he was half Vulcan, but it turns out he was actually half Romulan and lied to get into Starfleet. So, I mean...
Because that makes much genetic difference, really. But I think they'd want to clarify full Klingon, or 3/4, if that even makes sense. Because there's probably lots of halves. I don't know. I've never thought about that. They have either. But yeah, there's definitely no big bushy Klingon on the ship yet. Yeah,
I mean, and we've seen like Andorians and a lot of other ones in this episode as well, which is great. And even in Endosian in this season on, like that's actually a reference to the animated series, so that was kind of cool. So the aliens are kind of spot on here. We see a Bolian, we see a Benzite.
There's the Benzite. I've sort of got in time order, but
I'm trying to think of some other ones. We saw a weird girl with like blue, but like little things on her face. Well, walking down the corridor.
Yeah, there's quite a few makeup of the weeks, which cannot be references. But again, I want to give credit to the Benzite because it's so unnecessary. And therefore, attention to detail, and like I said in the other review, there's a little bit of fog that comes off. And this is the only show that can truly represent the diversity of Starfleet, because to have a Benzite extra, you've got to pay him way more, because that's what you've got to pay an actor extra, and takes time makeup, and all these things, whereas to draw him is relatively inexpensive. So, already, in the first episode, we've had a good 10... 15 alien races on the ship, which is more than we see in Enterprise D in any given episode, or even season, or even multiple seasons. So it's pretty, it's going to be unlike normal. And I kind of hope that we see these aliens be given speaking roles. Let's have stories. Why throw a human character? Why not have a Benzite? Why not have a half Klingon? Why not have a half Romulan? Why not? The race shouldn't determine much about them, but it might add a little bit of a fun quirk to an otherwise interesting story.
Yeah, and let's make a call out for Tindy, who's like a Orion, like Orion in Starfleet. That's cool. I mean, we saw it in the Kelvin films, but I don't think we've seen another one in anything live action.
Ooh.
Not that this is live action, but
that is true. So in the 09 films, I guess, because the Kelvin got destroyed, Orion wasn't the same. And therefore they joined Starfleet and didn't have pheromone glands and were nicer? Because the Kelvin got destroyed?
No, it was just JJ wanting a green woman for Kirk to sleep with. That's what it was.
It's weird. That's weird, though.
It is. And I got a Dan Leakey says Valeris isn't canonically half Romulan. Actually, I think Saavik is half Romulan, if I'm remembering correctly. Saavik was. Valeris might be.
I mean,
good question.
I mean, it's just the same as you saying the Bird of Prey was Romulan in the script. If it's not in the movie, it doesn't count. I just remember that was a concept that was going into it, so I thought I'd mention it because I mean, she doesn't act as Vulcan as she could do. There's more.
And Valeris was supposed to be Saavik originally in that movie, and then they changed it. So.
I still would like to have seen Saavik. Would have been a hard pill to swallow, but an interesting pill to swallow. Not that Valeris wasn't great, but...
Jarazia, $2, not canon, but Corbin from Elite Force 2.
Yeah, it's true.
It's Corbin, I'm trying to remember.
He's the Klingon. He's just the big, broody Klingon who's great. Yeah.
Oh.
And that was this era, so yeah.
John Woke, $2.50 Canadian. Waiting...
Say it again,
I
Stuart.
wouldn't mind seeing a Horta. That'd be kind of neat.
Sorry, Stuart, you died a bit.
I said I wouldn't mind seeing a Horta. That'd be kind of neat. As far as a crew member, I don't know about that though. I want to see if there's dolphin crew members at some point, actually like communicating.
it's no more silly to have a dolphin than to have a Horta. It would be really kind of but it's just like the green goo from Orville. Yeah. So he's walking around. It'd be kind of fun to see a Horta moving with like a little chip, like a thing on his back that just communicates. It's like, hello, I'm Nadine and I'm a Horta. It's like, oh my god, hi. This is cool. Yeah. And he's just walking. Well, that'd be funny. That'd be silly. God, that's a whole different level.
Could burn through the deck. Jill 47 puts in $2. Tindy and Rutherford as a couple could be comedy gold. I agree, but I think that's what they were kind of going for at the end of the episode there, and I'm not sure that's going to be. It's almost too obvious. It looks like Boimler wants to be with her, I think.
Well, that was only from their first meeting, but they didn't kind of hit on that again.
Yeah. It's almost like they're too much alike, though, Tindy and him. I don't know how that'll play out exactly, but yeah, lots of potential there, I guess.
I'm impressed you remember their names, because like I said before,
I've been studying and trying to remember. Same thing with Picard. It took me like 2 or 3 episodes, and I finally kind of got everybody.
Well, there was one character I was just like, look, I got the name.
Yeah.
And you were like, what? I'm like, yes, I know this one person. Excellent. But this is a thing you notice a lot in shows, is that they want to put a romantic subplot in. It's their will, they won't they. It's an element that helps people connect. It's in most things. In Picard, it was oddly with... really, it was just a fuck. It wasn't a relationship. It was just, the captain and the blonde. It wasn't a love interest. It was just they had sex once, and then... you know what I mean? It was so base, and Discovery, there wasn't, I guess, either. But that's a show that's not worth whatever. But these guys are nice. But it's the sort of thing that you can imagine. They hang out for all season. At the end, they just kiss because why not? They realize they're in love with each other, having not realized it because they're just so close.
Mm-hmm.
But will his Vulcan brain chip interfere with his possible relationships? That is the new question of Star Trek these days. Will a Vulcan cybernetic brain chip affect relationships with an Orion?
And why did he get a Vulcan one? Was it on discount or something? Because it's got the pointy ear. Nobody wanted it.
So his health insurance would cover.
Well, yeah, it's the most logical choice would be the Romulan or the Vulcan one. Sure.
Why not? They're a technologically advanced race. We don't know what's wrong with his brain, And it creates another... I don't know how they're going to play with that. Although, to be fair, if he can literally turn on and off, by the end, certain things, that'd be kind of like Data in First Contact, turning off his emotions to deal with the Borg. That'd be interesting, plot convenience thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't know. It's interesting.
Dave Stelzer puts in $2. You think he'll get any Antedian in Starfleet? Antedian. Sounds familiar. That'll have to look up.
Let's have a look. Nothing's coming up for me.
Should be.
Fish-like aliens.
Oh, yes. The assassins. Yeah.
You know what? Why not? Why?
I'm sure we'll see a lot of these aliens either in the background or something during the course of this first season. So,
yeah.
Double guitars. Is that the cat doctor? Is that the cat doctor? A new species? No, that's a cetacean. She's a feline species that was shown in the animated series. There's an officer on board the original Enterprise called Emrys, who was a cat essentially. Had a tail and everything.
That's quite a deep preference as well.
Yeah.
That's not just something you would know.
Yeah. Let's see here. Another thing that I really liked was the fact that in the 10 forward or their bar, whatever it is, it's not going to be 10 forward. But the glasses were all the right shape. Like simple little things. They weren't just simple like regular glasses that you'd see in Family Guy or something. They actually took the time to make the different styles, which was cool.
Yeah, I definitely recognized a few.
Yeah, little things like that. I'm waiting for the teacups.
Yeah.
Like Picard's.
Well, like Sulu's.
Those at some point.
We should have like a family.
Oh, yeah.
We should have a family thing with the captain, the admiral, and the ensign around a table. They're all having tea, and she smashes her cup like Sulu, you know, or she like grabs the table and shakes it, and it falls off. It's like, oh no. No, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. It's like you've got this universe. I mean, how often do I say, or when we talk about storylines, that the best story is that happens to take place in the Star Trek universe. Like, build the good story and then work in the universe and use the universe to its fullest effect. So if you're in a bar, well, look through TNG, look at all the art design that was done in, rather than tearing it, invent 15 glasses that may or may not look like Trek. You've got everything ready to go, use them, and in fact you're going to have more choice, pre-made, and fans will be like, oh my god, well done you, and everyone wins. Like, it's a completely universally win scenario.
Yeah, and it's a great tie-in to not only 10 Forward, but also the episode Lower Decks from TNG. Because their friend, who wasn't in Starfleet but worked in 10 Forward, that's the exact same uniform or outfit that he was wearing, which is nice. It's a nice touch. So.
I was not expecting to see. I'll be honest. That was like a because they didn't need to do that. You know, in Voyager, obviously we get Neelix and he wears his own thing, but we haven't seen these uniforms since the 80s.
Oh, at least the bartender didn't have like a Guinan hat. Can you imagine if that was just the bartender hat, like a chef hat in the future? They're all the same. So this is like the bartender hat. It could act as a tray if you need to.
It's the hat of power. All bartenders, male, female, alien, Andorians. It's got to be a very long hat. Same hat but long. Yeah, and again, I with this still in particular, the blonde lady has another hairband. It's like you never see hairbands. And it's interesting they put hairbands in, Although you want.
Well, I mean, Ensign Ro wore one.
She did. Yep. Yeah. Just don't associate it with Trek, in my mind. Yeah. But I get the sense that this show is kind of daring cosplayers to get started, with all these costumes, like being this engineer guy, it'll be great to see the first person that can replicate whatever the hell this is, hey, I'm surprised. It would have been kind of if Novos offered the uniforms out the gate. Obviously, they would feel different because real material will look different. It can't be bright uniform yellow, obviously. But I'd love to see one.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to have like Halloween costumes for that this Halloween because perfect timing, right?
I've seen some from China. Like I'm looking at one now, but that's just like cheap fabric. It's such an easy outfit. It'd be fun to see. Just take the Nemesis pattern, whatever, and or I guess the DS9 one because it's the top stripe. I mean, you could retroactively make that into. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've shared pictures on Facebook of a cosplayer that dressed as Tindy already.
Yeah.
And she got the boots. She's got the badge is the same, and it's quite well done.
Yeah. Is she the only one that has white shoes? Because I saw her wear white shoes in the holodeck.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, no. Okay. So, Peel and Blue wear white shoes. I just found on a still where you see all of them. Well, that's weird. Why would they wear blue?
Well,
white.
If she's specifically medical, it could be like medical.
Like in Discovery, they will wear full blue or full white. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Rex Trek though throws in $5.
Thank you.
I grew up with TOS and love everything Trek. I'm 60. I loved this show. Looking forward to more episodes. Appreciate you. Well, thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoyed the Lower Decks. We really did too, so we're looking forward to more.
I'm glad you have everything Trek, although I'm sure we'll have a spectrum. But this is a fun thing to watch.
Yeah. Justin Hampton puts in $5. Thank you, Justin. WB Zindi Aquatics. Hit like, make Jeff pay. Is Jeff even here? Oh, yeah, I think he is. I think he commented already. Yes, he did. Never mind. I'm not paying attention, as I tend to do. Zindi Aquatics. Yeah, they could join. They could be in Cetacean Ops, helping out the dolphins. That'd be kind of neat, actually.
That'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, at this
Makes
point,
sense,
I'm
too.
fine with Zindi being in the universe.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Just hang out.
They could translate the dolphin to the humans for if they needed to.
You know what they should do? You should have a scene where they walk in, they talk to the citation and whatever, and they walk away, and then we just cut to the water and both hanging out, and they just start talking each other's languages. It's like, that's bloody human. Like, they just bitch about them behind their back in the water. Just a scene where just two. All it is just basically a still frame. There's two things doing this, and just like, cracker. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Oh, I should never have left my pond. I should never have left, the Expanse, whatever. Oh, yeah. Degra's great-great-great-granddaughter said I shouldn't come to Starfleet, but wouldn't listen. That'd be good. I could imagine them doing that as well, actually.
No, I could too. James McGill, $2.
Thank you.
What makes Lower Decks seem more Star Trek than Discovery and Picard? Everything visual, the visual cues, the attention to detail. Like I said, the holodeck, the corridors, the Alcars, the goddamn transport enhancers that you got there, the uniforms, the sound effects. There's just so, and I know there's a lot of original, like there's a smattering of sound effects in Discovery,
and yet there's a Defiant one, a Voyager one, a TNG one, all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, why are you? No, don't use a Defiant klaxon. You think you're being clever, you're being disrespectful. Use appropriate or build similar sounding ones. To use that devalues their use in the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So there's a lot of things that visually just say TNG. Even the font for the opening, the whole opening sequence is very reminiscent of TNG feel of the music. There's a lot going on there that just makes it feel more Star Trek than other iterations we've got.
Well, I mean, look at this single screen cap. You've got a perfect looking Andorian, you've got a perfect Joy's visor, you've got a recognizable Klingon, you've got uniforms that look and feel TNG, you've got font that looks and feels TNG, and that's just for that one still,
But you got Alex Kurtzman's name on it.
Well, I did, yeah. That wasn't. Well, hey, and it really is a list of. It would be hard to find a list of things that don't feel more Trek than Discovery and Picard. That list is remarkably short.
Yeah. Starbait, yeah.
And so Sandick says, what is untrek about it? I mean, the tone to some extent, although they obviously have been silly. I mean, come on, the Flounder episode is really silly too. Star Trek 4 is quite untrek in terms of its, Double Down After New. That's not exactly very Trek, is it? But it's, slightly off to, it's a unique look.
Is he asking what's on Star Trek about
Lower Decks? No, I think that,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just to be fair, I mean, it's really just the tone, and probably some of the character dialogue is too modern. But I mean, I'd rather them say fuck and bleep it out for comedic effect than actually say fuck or show boobs or the already in the first episode I'm already okay with their levels of everything compared to Icheb's Eye, etc.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, and again, we talked about this. The uniforms are kind of an anomaly, which has no real clarification at this point. But it's just a thing. Ozzy throws in another $5. Thank you very much, Ozzy. Lieutenant Savick was half Romulan in a deleted scene from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Spock tells Kirk, "Skeleton hands." Yes. But because it never made the final cut, a lot of people don't think it's canon. But I mean, there's many books about her as well, and they mention it. So I like to think that her character was half Romulan, and that Spock kind of took her under his wing to, instill and it's a great lead up actually for her being a Romulan. It's a great lead up for him to do the unification thing later in TNG. So there's a lot there with her character being half Romulan. I think she definitely should be.
Well,
I believe Valeris was as well. Because she was supposed to be Savick for that movie. So, let's see here. There's the last super chat. That away from me. All right, Olivia Julius throws in $5. Hello, Olivia. Good to see you. Hashtag standard issued farming tools, hashtag discount Picard fertilizer. Yeah. Olivia was quite upset when she first watched this episode. It was a perfect opportunity to have Picard fertilizers as part of the farming equipment. Instead, we got a shovel and a hoe. So she messaged me saying she was kind of upset about the episode. One thing really bothered her, and I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And she told me about the fertilizers, and I'm like,
"You're like that makes sense.
That makes lots of sense.
On brand."
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Those things are hard to fit in a hideable crate. So I'm okay with that. I'll be honest. I'm okay with that.
Yes, absolutely. Plus, we still don't know their capabilities.
Hey, Eric, you're subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much. Be a Space Dock was a great reference. You know, it is just as good as seeing Enterprise D at the start of Picard. Just as good. This one's real. And they could or should have changed it more because it's a different space station, but they didn't. Didn't feel the need to, and that's good. Although I'm pretty sure there isn't a lower blue ring on the bottom. I quite like it, actually. That was definitely not there.
There isn't?
I don't think so. So I remember only having that big ring. Let me look. That does not ring a bell to me. I've rendered that before.
Ring a bell, pardon the pun.
That Space Dock is not actually that light filled. See, there's a ring, but it's not lit up. So they chose to make that glowing. I like it, actually. I think it kind of ties it more together. Yeah. Actually,
your Space Dock in Star Trek Online does have some glowing blue elements down there.
Okay,
not the whole ring, but
you know, this is the case of it. Some shots do, some shots don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the shots that goes in does, one of the shots. Okay, fine, fair enough. Well, sometimes does. This is definitely more blue. More blue, Stuart.
Speaking of job hard.
Speaking of though, you can do a credit Nomad again. I'm just going through pictures now. How do you think Nomad got on the ship then? Do you want to tell me the Captain Foley canon story? What you would say? You know, how do you justify getting in?
Try to remember exactly what happened to Nomad at the end. I think they beamed him into space and he blew up because he was short-circuiting. So I don't know. Maybe it's maybe somebody went out of their way to go, and maybe that was one of the science officers on the Cerritos found the parts and thought, "Well, I'll just rebuild it." And it goes crazy. They phaser it and they end up just throwing it in the closet. Who knows? Who knows? Jeff Jacobs, 209, 109, yes, onward to 150 and 200. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 184 of you here, which is awesome, guys. Make sure you're subscribed.
Oh, wow. Hey, guys.
And don't forget to hit the like button. And also the bell notification to all is very important as well. So if you can do that, please do.
So it's been a nice chill chat today, so I'm so glad so many of you are here just having
Yeah, we got like nothing really lined up per se. We're just kind of chatting here, but...
And, I mean, we are looking at, you guys, just, what were your guys' favourite references? I mean, I've got pictures around.
Well, but I mean, in that closet, you got some transport enhancers there.
Is that what you think they are? Because they're looking to me like Iron Man bombs. I was like, what are they? But I think you're probably right.
They look like they're disassembled transport enhancers. They don't have the top part. And we got a lot of the briefcases or the med kits that they have in there as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Olivia Julius, $5. Space Dock has bigger antennas than I had expected.
Is that a euphemism?
I don't know. With her, it's hard to tell.
But speaking of hard to tell...
Oh, and Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $2. I don't see Nomad. Where is he? Can you, zoom in on him?
Of course I can. I did already highlight the lighting, but so it's not in the middle. It's
He's on the left-hand side. He's leaning up against the wall.
There you go. And I mean, hey, hard to tell... But once you know it's there, and obviously the choice of doing the extra colours helps. It's cool.
Yeah. See, there he is. Yep.
Oh, Eric says maybe it was a commonplace model or probe model. Yeah. Yeah. But let's look at the trunk of goodies. Also, we get a batleth, although boy, not a sanitary batleth.
And Dan, we didn't crop that image. That's just exactly how it is. You don't see full Nomad. You just see part of them.
It's knee stroke, yeah.
but you can tell by the panels on them what it is. So,
although already this box, they should really stop putting deltas on everything. Like, it's less obnoxious in this show. Obnoxious, but it isn't everything. Hey, at least Stuart, at least their deltas, they don't have a line through it. That would have been.
It's a big deal.
Like, wouldn't even have thought of that until you realise they all have that for some reason. So, at least we didn't get that. But this box. Now, I'll say one. Do you think? Now, in my brain, I'm sort of like, you know how in that TNG episode with the 80-year-old woman that stayed young to kill the biker guy, right?
Yeah.
And you got to see like this much of the person's face, like, oh my god, it's the lady. So in my brain, I'm looking at this and seeing what I think is there. You know, extract and enhance. So behind the Tasha Yar kill device, right? Those two things that are blue look to me like Spock's rocket boots. That's what I see distinctly.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah? Because that's me throwing some shit out there. I don't know.
Yep.
Speaking of
boots,
because I want to see if I'm right there.
Speaking of boots, Tenchi 2K7 puts in $5. Says there are even deltas on the bottom of their boots. LOL. Yeah, so when they're walking in the sand, you get little deltas. Yes. We got to brand the planets we walk on. This is Federation territory now. Second contact.
They also have there's like a dotted line and there's a pattern. It's not
Star.
just
yeah.
So it's a bit more creative than that, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a bit like what?
At least there's not 1,000 deltas on their uniforms, and And that being said, his pad in this scene doesn't have a delta on the back of it. Later, there's a pad that does have a delta on the back of it in this episode. So they didn't oversaturate us with. They probably realized there was 2 on the box, and they're like, "Don't put 1 on the pad." I don't know. Let's see. And Eric Zaz, $5.
Thank you.
As military, Army, this show hit close to home because I've seen many of the things that happened in the show happen in real life. Also, United States Navy has like 12 uniforms. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you've seen zombie plagues from a bug bite? What are you referring to exactly? I'd like to know.
On a planet from pig dudes? I mean, yeah, give us a specific example there, because that's a hell of a claim that I'm sure those that hate the show be like, oh, yeah. And
your hands clean. That's awful to laugh at. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think what you could be referring to.
Yeah, I'm right. I found the boots. I mean, I'm really, like I say, extrapolating from not a lot. Although, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't looking at the chat trying to find the things. What do you guys think? Am I making shit up, or do you see a little bit of what I'm putting out here?
Well, Serg Eloy says there is a delta on the back of his pad in that scene. Yes, it's just the outline of one. Later in the episode, it's colored in. It's white.
I mean, it's the same teal, but that's really pushing it.
No, I think that's what it's referring to. I really do, because it does look like it for sure.
Yeah.
That other thing in the back too, with the rod handle, that looks really familiar from an episode as well, but I can't place it. It was some kind of episode MacGuffin or something.
For me, it looks like a Tatooine water converter.
Yeah, a little bit. Water or moisture vaporizer.
Maybe it's like a Genesis device. Yeah, I don't know.
Olivia Julius, $5. Have you bribed the monsters in the Jeffries tube? If you give him likes, he'll return. He'll give money to the captain and the ship. Well, we haven't done that yet. We should find those Jeffries tubes.
Oh, Jeffrey. I was like, what is going on there? Okay. Also got the Soy and Brandy. That's a classic. That was in Discovery and Picard. Satchel, not sure what that is. And I believe the other knife, the other swordy thing, was used by Worf in an episode. Or how the hell did she lug this box around? It's a really big box.
Probably got an anti-grav bottom.
Okay. Okay, he counters it. Yeah, you press one of the deltas. Each delta turns on, off, higher, lower.
There you go.
There you go.
Luke Celeste, $5.
Thank you.
At least there's no delta on their undies. I know. And I made that remark, actually. I'm surprised there wasn't, because that would have been the perfect place for it.
Yep.
But oh well.
Yeah.
That actually kind of would have been funny. I would have laughed at that, to be fair.
Oh, it should have been deltas right on the nipples and right on the junk. Just like perfectly framed.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But let's talk about what is perfectly framed. The unseen Romulan Borg War of 2380-ish.
Again, like they could have changed it. They could have made them look different. They look spot on, exactly like they used to, like they should. And this is something we've never seen. The Romulan, the Daredex is taking on a cube. Like, that's just very cool. So, kudos. Very much kudos to them. Samuel Custer, $5. Romulan ale versus Romulan whiskey. Romulan ale could just be the generic term. But, yeah, I mean, it's the same color, so...
I am more than fine with this, because if it was... It's like taking the reference of this is the one thing and diversifying it by 0.5. Why is everything ale? You know? That's cool. It adds another thing you can do. Although I was confused to say I was supposed to be green instead it's blue, even though you know that ale's blue. Why would it be green if it's always blue? It should be all around.
Everything Romulan is green. Their blood, their ships. I don't know. That's what I thought when I heard that line. Anyway.
But I would assume you should say I was meant to be blue like ale, and it's not. It's green or yellow or something. But obviously blue is easy to recognise. And like I joked on live, it's like, well, now they can sell Romulan whiskey. Now canon, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But no, this is my standout for, as you know, for the references, because it's also just a cool little moment, and it's really like, if you think about the situation here, this is a really, really bad day. Because one cube took out fleets of Starfleet, both older and all the brand new guys. And no offense to Daredexes, which are huge and very capable, ye dead, son. And although maybe this is a lead-in to this is why Hobus was destroyed. Because this is the final battle of Hobus. 6 Borg cubes made the thing go super. Maybe they're secretly linked to the canon and the series actually went there. You know. They got there first, then Spock.
Well, Eric Zass has answered our question. He puts in $5 super chat. Stabbed leg with a literal batleth by a drunken idiot in barracks. Zombies happen during PT after a weak fields problem. And we don't speak of spiders. Yeah, I get the spider thing. Lots of spiders over in the desert. So, yeah, I mean, we shouldn't get gummed by one for your moisture.
Literal batleth, eh? Why would you bring literal batleth on a...
And give it to a drunken idiot.
Well, it's like you can bring 4 things with you to the barracks. Your Nintendo Switch, your porn collection, and your batleth. And they're like, well, I get 2 out of 3, but why the porn? What?
And I hope your leg didn't get filleted like his did. The inner thigh, like right where the femoral artery is. You could die. Like you said, stabbed. So I'm hoping it was not as bad.
Just a bit gross.
But Luke Celeste puts in $5. Love the warp effect. Yeah, that's one of the ones that we were going to mention, actually. Especially the shot of her looking out the rear of the ship. You got the streaking stars like it's supposed to be. It's not a hyperspace tunnel. It's not something weird. But yeah, there's... and in the opening intro as well, the streaking stars.
I didn't have that one prepared. Yeah, it's amazing when warp is warp. It's like, oh yeah, it's warp. So I remember we looked at that in the trailer, and it took me until like almost the end of the review to say, oh wait, warp is really warp again. And I gave as if that's a big deal, and it's like, well, it is a big deal now, you know. And it looks great. I mean, it's completely aged beautifully, you know.
S1 Anwar says, love the creature basically eating the nacelle pulses. Yeah, the creature's pretty cool, and like I've said, it's kind of a callback to Galaxy's Child, where like they have the little babies suckling on the ship, and they have to like sour the milk. That's kind of the vibe that I got from that, which is neat.
And also, it kind of feels Orwellian, you know, just a quirky side thing. I said to you in a video earlier today, Like, I would totally be down for that to be an actual episode that we see, you know, in the show. I would quite enjoy that. I really kind of hope that we do see more. You know, hey, show us that Borg Romulan thing. I'd be down. I mean, hey, talk about the comedy series showing the biggest Borg war ever. That'd be ballsy. And can you imagine just like they warp in and they actually, because they're just like, you know, we can do it. We actually show us like a minute, like proper effect battle. Like we've never seen before. Flying things and you know, a scimitar decloaks and shoots and then it fires. It's like, oh my god, this is what we get an animated show? Oh, that'd be great.
Calm yourself. Calm yourself.
Although, that said, just and I know there's more super chats, but why are we giving such credit to a fleet of identical ships? The cubes are identical, the generators are identical, but we called out the end of Picard for these identical Romulan ships. Just for clarity, because we've got to be fair, that was a total no, this is a total yes. Why?
Because these are how they're supposed to look. Well, that being said, there should be more than one class of ships here. Maybe. But I don't know exactly what you're going to be getting at when your reference, but the trying to think here. Yeah, kind of caught me off guard. The ones in Discovery or Picard, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what you're going for. So,
well, I'm just saying, you have to be fair about this. We were complaining about one. Why do we give them credit to this one? Yeah, it's also a fleet of the same ship. Copy and paste. Is copy and paste the battle? Why are we so excited?
Because they're popular Romulan warbirds.
But you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, like, you know, we're not...
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I thought you were asking for, like, real, like, reason. And I'm like, I can't really think of one.
No.
It should be a Valdor in there.
There should be Valdors. Unless the ship is actually those 10 years old, and there wouldn't be yet. Which I'm fine with. You know, maybe it's an indication of that. Maybe this is the, you know, Battle of Sector 446 that only that ship saw, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, Guardian 1326 puts in $5. When I saw the trailer, I thought the ship was just a saucer on a warp sled, like the shuttle on TMP. Fair enough. I mean, those structures did look odd from that first view we got of the ship, but it's really enjoying the ship now. So.
And Jill says everyone I interact with most about Trek loves Lower Decks Premiere. Yeah, I'm finding that those with louder voices don't like it, and average people like it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know anybody personally that doesn't like it. I know a lot of people haven't watched it, but I don't know anybody that just absolutely hates it that I know personally. Mm-hmm. Mopsy Maine puts in $10.
Ooh, thank you.
It says, stay hydrated. It's important. I
think $10 deserves an ASMR.
Oh, good God. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $5. Space Tidy Whiteys versus Enterprise Blue Boxers and Tank Tops. I thought undergarments would have been, better designed. Well, they're underwear. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I would have. Didn't come to talk about this today, but I would be all for having personalized colors. Although that said,
they're department colors. That'd be awesome.
No, that's one step too far. Like, uniform is regimented, but you have to have whatever you want. And so, wouldn't it be kind of funny if they had a scene where they strip again and you've got like bananas on his boxers, or you know, she's got little Akira glasses. Or the Horta line of boxes, you know, little slightly raised domes all around it. They're orange. Buy your Horta boxes today. Horta bra, polka dot, Bolium bra. It's got a line down the middle. Andorian bra.
Oh my god.
Come in.
And on that note. Luke Celeste throws in $5.
Thank you so much.
If it is Borg, you send your best ships. Well, yeah. But they might not always be the best ships in the area, and you need to send some smaller ships in as well to support them. So there's that. We have 201 people watching, which is fantastic, guys. So thank you very much. Make sure you're subscribed.
That's good.
Make sure you hit the all notification and hit like. It's very important.
Yes. I mean, we're at 130. I want to see 150. We should easily better get 150. I challenge the audience to not only hit 150 likes, but to smash well past that. So if you can, click like right now. We're at 130.
It's easy to do.
It is easy to do.
Olivia Julius, $5. Thank you, Samuel. Oh, I see your red bra. Your red bra. You must be a commander.
Deary me. Deary me.
Well, see, the men's boxer briefs in Starfleet, the number of buttons you have represents your rank. So I'd have 4 buttons on mine at the front. Samuel had 3.
And if you're an admiral, I've got a gold trim.
And two flies because they have the 2 admiral pips. Yeah. Wow, what a conversation.
I mean, that CBS, mate, the company entity, you've got a whole brand here. You know, a whole brand of Star Trek themed.
And Grid Cube says, and the buttons are deltas. I hope they're deltas printed on a round button, though. I wouldn't want a delta-shaped button down there.
That'd be just like, how do you undo that? Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about sitting down and having to dig in.
But speaking of digging in, Fear the Banana. We see them replicate warm bananas with a replica.
Hot banana.
Looks exactly like a replicator. No ifs or buts. Replicator.
It's easy to do. And the shuttles. The shuttles look like shuttles.
And while...
And not Discovery shuttles.
Now, again, disclaimer, they do look a lot like Discovery shuttles, because Discovery shuttles look a lot like TNG shuttles, just in a weird alternate universe way. These, like Discovery, look like Star Trek V, but in a more TNG way.
Mm-hmm.
So good job.
It's the window shape at the side that really makes it look TNG. Yes. You know, that helps a lot.
And in fact, they even have the TOS style. They brought that back with a side door, which is great. Or I guess you could say runabout as well, but bit of both on that, which is great.
Trying to think of other... Well, the Argo. I mean, the Argo was a nice... Even though it's different, if you watch our video, there's actually quite a few differences. But that being said, that Argo in Insurrection is probably... Nemesis is probably early version. And this is like a different modified one, specific for first. And we talked about it in the video. For second contact, you need to be on the planet for a while. No sense transporting back and forth everywhere when you can just drive around and do it. You know, it makes sense for them to carry them. And we see them on the MSD. They got a few of them there. So
got plenty, more than you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's great. It's a great version 1. You know, the Argo was an alpha. I'd love to know what this is called, because it's not the Argo 1, the Argo 2. You know, is it the Argo class transport vehicle? Maybe. That would certainly explain why E got it first. It was the Argo. Wouldn't it be kind of fun if every shuttle and every fighter, every thing has to always be the class name, like Galaxy class, Galaxy. Like that was the Argo, because the Argo class. It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny because this one, this is like the pickup truck, I guess. It's got like a cargo slot in the back. The other one Worf was sitting in. But that being said, it makes sense now to me that he thinks that she was selling weapons, because she had a crate full of batleths and like little spiky Tasha thing that looked exactly like that. If you thought it was the same crate, because I didn't understand why he jumped to the conclusion that she was selling them weapons. But, you know, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, it was definitely 1 to 100, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, very strange.
When does the next episode come on? Well, in Canada, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. on CTV Sci-Fi, and it's on Crave as well. I think it's actually released on Crave in the morning.
Oh.
But yeah, on CT or CBS All Access, it's midnight of Wednesday.
Fancy. But guys, only 143 likes. Come on, I want to hit that 150. It is free. It's right there.
7.
Please do. Another quick reference though. Isolinear chips in the isolinear chip slots of the replicator. Easy, unnecessary detail. There you go. Credit where it's due. You know, recognizable.
Simple things.
They're a little bit different, but that's okay. Recognizable. And I mean, hey, I'm sure replicator ones have to be pretty special because that's a really intricate thing that everyone relies on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Although maybe no bioneural on this ship. I would doubt it would. Just saying.
Oh, another great reference is the spacesuits. Very similar to what we see in First Contact.
Yeah, let me find that image because I don't think they're as similar as we think they are, but they're definitely similar enough.
At first glance, they definitely look
yeah.
the same. They're just very simplified versions for the animation, I think, which is fine.
Yeah, let me find those. And that was one of those great unnecessary scenes of like, oh, we're doing this now, are we?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
then.
Walking on the hull was cool. I got to admit, I was glad to see that.
I wish we had seen though, like First Contact, a great start far, get close, because you often make a higher detail part of a ship based on that. Like I was wondering, where is that hatch? If it was near a shuttle bay, would we see the shuttle bay with detail? Because I really want to see the shuttle bay, for many reasons. So I was a little bit disappointed in that, but I mean that's a really intricate shot to make for that sort of thing. So I'm okay with that.
And somebody said here that where is it here? The S1 Noir, the Certos should have gel packs that get sick because Bulmer sneezes on them or something. Yeah, but the gel packs were a newer technology introduced into the Intrepid class.
Brand new.
This is a ship that's about the same age as the Galaxy-ish, like around that fleet aesthetic. So,
or at least using that level of tech because it's easier to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if the E had bioneural. I don't think they ever mentioned it. I don't think... We definitely didn't see it.
It might have been a failed experiment.
Well, no, the E came out first, to be fair. The E was launched first.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, but it's also cutting edge, right? So...
Yeah. So, I wouldn't assume the ship would have it. So, here's the... We haven't done this episode yet, but I guess you're getting a live episode. Yeah, I mean, it's the same but different. You know, I'll wait for you to, you know, I'm kind of missing the red. That would have been nicer, I think.
Did they all have red though in that movie? I don't remember them all having red.
I think they did. I mean,
While you're looking that up though, Jeff Jacobs puts in 254. Roars with approval, 154. Again at 200. Hashtag it's the cargo. It's the cargo version. Rognick is Worf's spacesuit commander class suit.
I mean, Picard has a red. They don't like their close-ups in these. This is very, very dark in space. I'm trying to find...
It's true. It's true.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll have red.
I do like the fact that in the animated one,
yeah, they'll have red.
Their magnetic boots glow. I think that's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be a good visual cue to know that they're magnetized. So... let's see. Trapper John, I'm just waiting for the life support belts.
I mean, you've got something similar in a sense. When the phaser beam, hits them, it gives the outline. I was getting flashbacks to that effect, so.
Yeah. Those are neat. Kind of impractical, but cool enough. And I love that they're kind of incorporated into the 4th and 5th season of Star Trek, if you want to call the animated series that. But yeah. Maybe there'll be some reference to see a white belt hanging on a hook in the back somewhere. Although this is quite a ways afterwards, so they don't think they'll be. Just trying to think of anything else that's real. Oh, the phasers. We've talked about the phasers already.
Mm-hmm.
Tricorder. We got the medical tricorder, which not a lot of detail, but still looks very cool.
Better than the trailers implied, though. Because that's the thing with all those sorts of animated. in the medium version of the shot, you don't need to have the detail, and so we were judging it based on a medium shot, but the close-up has to be close-up, you know. And yeah, these spacesuits are fine. Like I say, I think they're missing the red, but I like the fact they got the knee pads. The delta does not feel annoying on this, if you know what I mean. This I can see being very natural to have a delta.
Absolutely.
I do prefer the multi-faceted helmet design. The other one feels too smooth, feels kind of alien, as in from Alien. Like, that sort of very clean sci-fi. But I mean, it's got the arm thing. It's got enough details to be, yeah, same but different.
All Muscle One throws in $10.
Oh,
so thank you very much.
Awesome.
I have watched a ton of your guys' content. Thank you for all you do in helping us Trek fans to feel at home. You are much appreciated. Oh, thank you very much. Really like hearing that kind of thing.
We do have people like you, sir, or ma'am. Thanks for enjoying. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, the Doctor is a good call out to TO or the animated series. So
yeah,
sickbay doesn't have a sickbay feel though.
I mean, it's hard to see with all the black goo. I'll be honest. I won't judge it yet. This isn't Prometheus, you know.
I guess.
But no, I agree. But neither did the transporter room. And obviously,
well, we only saw the one, and we kind of assumed it might have been a cargo transporter. So
that's the tricky one with this. We just can't really call it out yet.
Yeah.
But with enough good-looking sets, I'm not gonna, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Jill47, $2.
Thank
Can
you.
the ambassador come give his thoughts on the show?
I'll have to book that at some point.
Maybe at the end of the season.
Or half season. I mean, you know.
Yeah. We'll have the Admiral on too to talk about it. She really enjoys it, so.
Oh yeah, so does you know.
Yeah.
I let watch it.
Dan, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name again because you corrected me earlier and I didn't get it. But anyway, Dan puts in £2. There's no proof Valeris was meant to be half Romulan. Okay. I always assumed she was, so don't know why I got that. It must have something I heard when I was younger, but.
Well, we both thought it, which implies there's something behind that. So.
Yeah. Probably Grid Cube says probably sickbay is larger because of second contact needs. Maybe they get lots of people to treat and stuff regularly. Yeah, I mean, for the simple thing, stepping on a plant, getting pricked by a thorn, getting bit by an insect, bit by an animal. There's a lot, and that's why when the first officer gets bit, it's like, nah, it's fine. It's like, you dumbass.
Well, he was obviously riding off the high, but it's one of those hard things. It's like you get insurance for a car just in case, but you know, 99.9% of the time you don't get hurt. You know, I have drinks next to PC equipment, and I've spilt it, you know, 3 times in 5 years. So most times it doesn't happen, but it can happen that one time. So for this guy, if he's done 500 missions, he's never been ill. I mean, you can't blame him for being, it's fine, especially if the transporters are meant to undo stuff. And we're only seeing those rare cases that actually become a story, you know? It's hard to be precautious every single time if it's such a small percentage chance, you know? It's like if the odds are 0.001%, I mean, at a certain point you just don't take it seriously, because why would you take 0.001% as being an odd, you know what I mean? Like, is it really even odd at that point?
Yeah.
And we didn't see the scene earlier where he got bit by 3 spiders, 14 monkeys. Like, he went to a petting zoo. He got bit by everything. So hey, didn't think anything of it. But no, he was stupid.
Actually, he just had sex with one of the pig people and didn't tell anybody.
They drank all the alcohol. He took all the ceremonies, and yeah, just the whole thing. Yeah. God.
Anywho, what other kind of callbacks or references?
Let's see what else I have
here
in the corridor, the ale, the
you guys think of anything you'd like to talk about that you noticed?
Oh yeah, the cargo sled, straight out of TNG, the hollow, the hover. Again, didn't need to be there, wasn't focused on, but it was a part of TNG canon, and there you go. Brilliant.
Yeah, the anti-grav sled. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Easy. Brilliant. The sand Star Wars reference, which is, I mean, undeniably a Star Wars reference, which is fun and a bit of a gentle dig, you know.
Well, the MSDs and the LCARs, I mean, spot on, like perfect for TNG, you know, just right color palette.
I mean, they're a little bit too yellow focused. I always think a TNG is more multicolored. This feels far more singular colored. So they feel more plain to me. They obviously feel right, just less interesting. Like someone's removed 3 colours from the palette. I mean, let me see if I can find a TNG one, because I just looked at them and I see it looks plain to me.
Well, I'm glad they're not like the ones you see on the Enterprise E, which are like blue and red. You know, like different color palette.
Those don't work either.
Yeah.
Or
so, I mean,
Discovery, anything from Modern Trek. I mean, those are not.
Well, those aren't even LCARs. Those are just garbage. Holographic garbage noise.
Again, thank goodness they went with real, you know. I mean, you know, look at this screen cap, and the thing is more orange. There's more orange and blue, but it's not far off. But you know, but that said, in this show we've seen pads that have full blue, medical has full blue, so they're going with more of a, you know, as he said, everything's ops. So this is an ops based, you know, MSD. Which I don't mind. I mean, it's you know, it's a fun thing to call back to all different types of LCARs. Surprising, and there's a shot later on where they're red alert and all the LCARs red. So I mean, you know, it's much more change with the wind, as it were.
Tenchi 2K7 put in $5 at Good Old Gamer. The MSD is just called map. LOL. Yeah.
Well, I think they learned that you could tap on the side and say, "Computer, where are we?" Or just have maps every, like, you know, every 5 intersections.
Go back to that picture of the MSD and the. Oh, there we go. See, somebody said, Trapper John. Oh no, where is it here? Good Old Gamer says that blue alien has a paw.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, only 3.
Never noticed that.
Yeah, as soon as you put me back on this picture, I was like, what was it? Oh! Cool. Yeah. Hey, another attention to detail. Although I can't help but see these and say, why the hell are the comm badges so high? It just bugs me so much. It doesn't look good. It looks messy. Annoys me. Like, I'll accept it, but you wouldn't want the TNG comm badge to be all the way up there, you know.
Yeah. I mean, cartoon proportions. It could be that the black stripe goes down further, and just because their bodies are, I don't know.
And I guess the comm badge is bigger than you would normally have it, but still, it's such an okay uniform. It's not a great one.
I kind of like that it's on the line though, because it kind of like. If it was down too far on these characters, it just would look too low. Like proportionally, just it's fine. But I see what you mean about compared to the actual uniforms that we've seen.
I mean, I would have it just like a half an inch below the white stripe. That would probably be fine. It's just barely. But S1NWL. What is ops? Can't find an easy translation. Ops is short for operations. A very, very simple translation. Yeah. But that's the least of the problems.
No, the visors. There's two visors in this. 2 girls with visors. Whether they're needed because they're blind or whether they give them additional neural inputs or something, who knows? I mean, for second contact, that might be good to check out the environment and, you know, ground samples and stuff. I kind of like that, you know, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm not thrilled. I'd like him to be unique. That said, I'd rather it be the same tech than Discovery, where it's just like a full robot visor garbage, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, I'd rather have this. And hey, this is a long time after Geordie, so it's not as if, you know, tech hasn't been perfected. Yeah.
And Good Old Gamer says the visors are common in STO. Yeah, they are.
Well, I mean, yes, but if you can walk around in TOS uniform in 2409, I don't think choice of personal appearance means anything. No offense. Just saying. All right, anything else? So you got the transport inhibitors. That's a brilliant reference. Which I keep calling back to the simple detail of just didn't need them, put them in, boom, perfect. exactly what you'd hope for. Oh yeah, her ready room. I know Trekyard did a good article where all different pieces are from different Pills Captains' locations, although I think they're just a good selection of things. Obviously, I recognise the ball, the baseball, but I like the fact that she has a Cerritos model. I would have liked her to have her old ship, like an ambassador. That I think would have been nicer, but I can still see her appreciating her current ship.
It's funny because the model that it's so simple like that. It actually looks like one of the FASA ships. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's just literally a saucer with big struts and the engines underneath. It has that feel, and I thought that's what it was at first. I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's probably supposed to be the Cerritos. But anyway, needs a little bit more detail, I think, but that's okay.
Yeah, but it would have been nice if it was an Akira or a... So, I mean, a small thing. And this is her first ship she ever commanded, and she's like, it's a tradition, we always put our ships we've commanded. Oh, this one.
Yep.
That's okay. I like that she has the badge, like an old style Rathacon badge in a gold thing.
Does she?
Yeah, I guess it's like a medal. It's right in the top right corner. I'm guessing it's like an award, but it's...
Yeah, and Jay Donaldson makes the point that on the far wall she has a tattered Californian flag, which is great because it is the California class. So the ships are named for areas of or cities around California, and the shuttles are named for the state parks, which is neat.
Oh, I found the Klingon guy getting phasered. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel like they are setting up their own universe of guest characters that we recognise, because that's the same Klingon guy from earlier in the episode. It's become nice they drew like a crew of like 50 people. They just keep alternating, put them in different scenes. They don't need to, but it will create a sense of, oh, I know what's happening.
Another great reference, which to my eye, first time I'm like, did I just see that? Was after the black goo, after they get healed, the one Vulcan has black goo, but it looks like the goatee.
Yeah,
I thought, did he actually have a goatee? And when I saw it the second time, I realized it didn't. But Guardian 1326, $5. By the way, what do I have to do? A fan design submission. DS9 era design. I call it the Mark 13 Leighton class scout. Email us at trekyards@hotmail.com and just put in the subject fan design. And we will get back to you and let you know what the process involved in that is. We have a few originals on the go right now, but always looking for more.
Yeah, no, I as you know, I love doing those. They're really fun and interesting.
And Luke Celeste, $5. The hat was also in Pike's room in the cage. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's all the ones I can. Some of the ones I've got pictures for.
I'm trying to think of anything. Well, all the references at the end: Sulu and his sword, Worf, Deanna and her uniform, the whale probe, Khan, Kirk.
Did she say whale probe then?
Gary Mitchell. Yeah, she did.
So temporal anomaly did it first, called a whale probe, and I guess it's a temporal anomaly.
They nicked it. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of in audio things, which is obviously hard to remember because you can't show them visually. But there's a lot in the next season on. I'm looking forward to dissecting with you. Yes.
That'll be fun, yeah. Trapper John says, sorry, I haven't been as active in the live chats for the last few months, guys. I've really missed this. Well, welcome back. Glad you're here.
Hope been okay.
Try to join us more often. They're usually the same time, so...
Yes, they are. We're easy to find. We're always here. Hey, even if you don't watch us live, I check our videos out because they keep coming out.
And to all those that say we don't do ship videos, every Saturday is pretty much a ship video or a special guest or an interview or something cool.
Or at least
so we still do. We still do the ships and tech stuff on Saturdays. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I mean, we do pride ourselves on that. Speaking of the transporter effect, good-looking transporter base thing, but the audio was exactly just TNG, both up and down, which was refreshing. And I felt like they did that on purpose, just to kind of say, look guys, we know how to do it now, because they showed them beaming up and down in the same 5 seconds, which they don't really do.
Yeah.
And the effect was not the best effect. It was very JJ effect, but calmed down and a more appropriate color palette, so it kind of feels a bit more.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a very simplified version. You get the streaks, and then you get the swirl around it. Depending on which way they're beaming, I think it changes. But I mean, it's neat. I kind of like the transporter effect, honestly. But yeah, it's not quite what it should be for TNG, but that's all right.
Well, I mean, not everything has to be the same as the. I can imagine the transporters get updated more than the
Graded tech.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of. I mean, by this point, you could see having, except I wasn't the biggest fan of the TNG movies. Like, I know they're trying to do something more fancy, but for some reason it looked less real. Does that make sense? Like, it looked more like a digital effect, whereas TNG kind of feels very to the point.
Yeah, yeah.
I also
remember the one from Picard where he beamed off the Romulan planet. It was a weird effect.
Like vertical shimmer. That's not bad. It's definitely one of the better ones of the new stuff for sure. But yeah, these were. So I'm looking at our show pictures now for references. I'm guessing the bunks are a reference to Star Trek 6. And I guess Defiant, because the Defiant's a very similar bunk style anyway.
Yeah. But in the hall, man, damn. It's okay.
I mean, it is not a quarters, just a long room. So it's a hallway, not just a long room.
Yeah.
Because the hallway ends in a big window, and the other side is a door. So it's really just a long room. You know?
Which I'm fine with. I'm fine if that's the case, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's not going to have through traffic. Well, I guess a window and a shower. Well, imagine the shower was like a window as well. It's just like, it's a one-way glass, so you can like look at warp while I'm showering. It's like, the planet. I feel so small in this great universe of the universe.
Yeah. Well, Rognek says, Trekyards, is Mariner saying she got trapped in a sentient cave a reference to something? It feels very TOS if not. That's what I was wondering. I was trying to remember if there's any sentient caves. The only one I can think of is the one, well, it's not really sentient cave, but the one from Future Imperfect, where it's got the things and the stalactites to read your mind. But I couldn't think of if it was a reference to anything.
Once you point it out, it makes me think of Star Wars and the Sarlacc pit, which is a sentient cave monster alien. I've seen extended media where we see the actual guts of it inside a cave. No, I think that's new. It's a cool concept. I mean, it's a simple concept. I'm all for it. And I definitely liked her. I liked that the things she was saying all felt new. That she wasn't just rattling off, I fought a Gorn. There are time for references and time for not. I thought that was a good time for not.
Another thing I do like about this is the fact that they take advantage of the holodeck the way that most people would, where she had her nude Olympic training program. I think that was a nice little reference, and there's going to be more of that coming up with her having to clean the holodeck. But yeah, I mean, everybody thinks it, everybody says it. Well, not everybody says it. A lot of people say it. Everyone thinks it, what they would do with a holodeck. So,
I mean, that's, a line in the Orion sand. Oh, wait, they haven't got sand. I mean, hopefully when we know there's that cleaning the holodeck, hopefully it's implied just, other things. So it's not just, yes, we have to clean the semen tanks every 4 days. I mean, if it's that, I will not appreciate that. I'll think that's a bad joke, bad humor. You can imply it, but I would not appreciate that direct humor because it's like, this is the future,
Maybe they upgraded the holodecks and they use bio gel packs now, and they get old because they are converting a lot of matter and it's filtering out. I don't know. We could come up with explanations for this shit. That's our job.
No, I mean, we're just repairing the holodeck. I mean, I'm sure it's a very complicated system of things. I'm sure it's maintenance all the damn time. And you could do a whole episode. Actually, there was kind of a Futurama one where the hollow suite-esque thing was broken, someone used it, and then it went wrong, and it made everything corporeal. There could be a whole episode where they're trapped in the holodeck because it's just broken, and they have to fix it. And so the whole thing is weird, convoluted holodeck story because they're just there, but it doesn't tell the ship it's broken, so they're just stuck in this room. There can be any room. It could be kind of fun. You've got to do a comedic start, very comedic slant on it, but that could be cool.
Anyway, guys, if you guys don't have anything else to reference that we've maybe missed, we've actually gone for an hour and a half, which is longer than I thought we would for this topic, to be honest. So if you have anything else, call it out. Mm-hmm. Wow. Star King just threw in $50, so thank you very much, Star King.
Well, his name definitely reflects his generosity. I mean, King of the Stars. Wow.
Yeah, and he says great analysis with 3 thumbs up, so thank you very much. I mean, it wasn't really analysis, it was just a discussion, but we really appreciate that very much. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, the whole point about this one in particular is this is a show made by Trek fans for Trek fans for the first time since 2005.
Yeah. Except
Beyond. That was Simon Pegg and whatever. You know the story. That was Trek fans for Trek fans. So, these small things we want to call out, because as we've always done even with Picard Discovery, call out the good and call out the bad. That's important. And there's a lot of fun stuff in this one. And hey, I think every episode we're going to have a lot of good stuff. And this one, as I've said to you previously, had to also set up all the characters, and especially the new one. So there's a lot of setup, which means that when we get into the full episodes, we're going to have a lot more just time to play with the story. And therefore, a lot more references can possibly be included.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to a lot more of these Easter egg talks and discussions. I think that'll be a weekly thing. Things we'll notice. Eugene, though, throws in 200 rubles and says, no quantum shovels. It would have been cool if she had, instead of the shovel, like the soil analysis thing from the episode with the Shellyak. Not the Shellyak. The Hussack. Where they attack the planet and the only person's left is the. It would have been cool if they had that little thing. That was designed by Rick Sternbach, by the way. Just so you know.
I mean, the thing is, you can't have everything, and the amount of stuff they have is amazing. So,
yeah,
that's why it's good to have the day-to-day stuff, like the replicators and the drinks cups, because those things you can have every episode and still be the same. Well done, They had to start with her going to a space station and nicking stuff. In essence, that was like to include more references, but other ones are just part of the universe. And yeah,
I hope we get a look at some point on one of the officers' quarters, like one of the ensigns gets called in there to do something. You see like a
real
like Galaxy class crew quarters kind of thing. That'd be kind of neat. But we'll see about that.
I mean, I'm sure the captain. There'll probably be an episode where it starts in space, cuts into the captain's quarters. She's entertaining her friends in not a poker game, let's say darts tournament. I don't know. Why not? And then it's beautiful quarters, really luxurious, lots of things. Then it cuts down through deck, and we see every single deck.
And like a skeleton between the plates.
Or like a like a little spider creature from this episode or whatever.
A tribble.
Oh yes, that's good. And like a Mechleth, and each deck, because it's like when Rowan and Geordie ran through corridors, ran through quarters. It's like, oh, what's everyone doing? And just to see, it gets less and less exciting as we go down all the way to the bottom, which is a blank room, and it's like lower decks, and there's just tiles of lower decks. It's like that. Yeah, that was the intro.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
That'd be good. Dan throws in another £2 and
Thank
says
you.
Apparently Spock fought space whales. Wow.
Well,
Kinda.
yeah.
Still a fun reference. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think that's probably it.
I mean, is Dan the last super chat? I mean, we're at 180 likes. I would like to see 200 likes before we close out. There's 200 watching, so 19 more likes. And who wants to win the prestigious, last super chat slot? But Stuart, do you want to tease what we're doing tomorrow?
Oh, if I could remember.
You only have 2 thumbnails, and one you know is Wednesdays, so...
Oh, you sent me 2? I only thought you sent me 1.
And Jill, the show has limitless potential. Yes.
I only have 1 thumbnail, dude. I haven't seen the other thumbnail, and I can't remember what we talked about.
Well, I did send... Yeah,
Oh, might not have downloaded it yet, if you send it separately.
I did send it separately, yeah.
And I haven't downloaded it yet.
Oh. Well, see if you can remember.
Well, I mean, on Wednesday, we're doing our look at this season on.
That's going to be fun. Some good stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered what it was too.
What is the other one?
194, guys. Come on, 200. 200, 200.
Oh, just about the characters.
Hey.
Discussing the characters and what we think about them and where they could possibly lead. So, a few people were asking about Mariner's character arc in the chat there a minute ago, and so that's something we'll talk about tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
198. 198. 198. No, thanks for joining in. Tune in tomorrow for 10 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. Eastern, and the other relevant time zones. And he'll continue to see other short videos throughout the week. I'm super excited to see what Stuart thinks in his first reaction on Thursday. And then I'll do we'll do our My God, so much work on Friday, and it'll all start again.
All for you guys for 23 goddamn weeks, because when this show's over, we got Discovery Season 3 starting. So, Ozzy Maderos, $5.
Thank you.
There will be whales here, skeleton hands.
I mean, this would be a perfect show to actually bring the whale probe guys back. I mean, how cool would that be for the Cerritos to warp in, just big tube night. What is this? Our scans say.
And that's what started the fact they needed cetacean ops on board, to have whales there to talk to these guys just in case. So that would work out well.
Well, actually, yeah. If you double down on that, what if you have the story of Mariner? No, yeah, Mariner's mum was the first ship to rediscover those guys. And
the whale probe planet.
And then on her ship, they had to find dolphins because of Kirk. And then Enterprise D got them because of that. Mm-hmm. And then she always tells her daughter, or she always reminds her daughter, hey, I was the one that saved the Earth again. Kirk did it the first time, I did it the second time because I bumped into them. And she's like, yes, Mum, I know you got dolphins on all Federation ships. I know you did.
That's a discussion for tomorrow.
It is.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. 200, yes, made it. Made Jeff pay.
Yes.
You are the best chatters. Absolutely, you guys are the best out there on YouTube.
And great to see so many people joining in, because we're having fun with this show. Love to see you guys out too.
Yeah. And Fleet Swiftback says, did I just eat human flesh? Just a little. How much should I eat?
That still makes me... It's a clever but harsh line.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And Joe Byram puts in $10.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Wow, ends on a high.
Did y'all hear about the yellow stripe on the ship? It represents engineering. Then other ships will have blue for scientific and medical second contacts, and red for diplomatic second contacts. Heard something of the sort. Where did you get that information, though? Because is it official? Is it from Mike McMahon or?
I guess this is a hyper specialized ship. Maybe I don't quite like that. But I can see why. It's logical. I don't know. But it's tricky. Because you got things like the Enterprise D. How many times the Enterprise D do full diplomatic discussions? Like, they can do that too, you know?
Also the flagship. So.
But I mean, that doesn't need special colours, does it? No. Oh, and Joe, you got here late. Very late, so about to close, but that was an epic super chat, and you came in late by ending the chat with the best super chat. Well, not best, but one of the best ones. Thank you.
Yes.
And yes, I do like the ops joke. Good old gamer. I still think it's funny.
Samuel Custer, $2. Did you guys watch the Ready Room after show?
Haven't yet.
I didn't know there was one, so no.
Everyone's on Skype/Zoom, but I will. Yeah, it's probably a good thing. Although we enjoy watching those after the fact with our like reviews, just because we can ask interesting questions and it's fun to then have them. It's like they called out a Romulan reveal in Lower Decks. I was like, I bet that's Romulan, etc., etc. Yeah. Anyway, Samuel is happy that Samuel gave us super chat. Unless someone called Stuart wants a super chat just to make Stuart really happy. To end on.
Nobody has that name.
Nobody has that name. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. See you then. And 204 likes. That's awesome. Bye.